Hey fam, welcome to the channel. I'd like to talk about the fastest selling used car in the country right now. And honestly, it makes no sense. And when I tell you what it is, you will truly be shocked. This is the Tesla Model X. When it debuted in 2016, the asking price was $90,000 and above, but it was plagued with panel gaps, mismatched and misaligned doors, hardware issues, and those Falcon wing doors. The absolute flex on this car, plagued with all kinds of sensor problems. So how did this car, an EV, beat out all other ICE cars and other EVs to be the best selling used car in the United States? I've reviewed data from and listings on IC Cars, Car Gurus, Auto Trader, Edmunds.com, anywhere where I could find used car listings. And the Model X is spending the least amount of days online. Least 26 to be exact. But let's check with Eve. Eve, what is the fastest selling used car in the United States of America today?
The Tesla Model X is the fastest selling used car in the United States right now. Recent studies from IC Cars show it spends just 23 to 26 days on the market on average, far quicker than others.
And what's the average price, Eve, of these Model X's?
The average price for a used Tesla Model X in the US is around $45,000. Prices vary by year and condition, from low 30s up to over $60,000 for newer ones.
This is remarkable, particularly since the Model X was designed and brought to market 10 years ago.
Well, how about performance? So what if you could have a car that has more functionality than a minivan, more style than an SUV, and more performance than a sports car? That's the Model X.
So now, what's going on here? How can an EV that's designed is 10 years old, that in its debut was plagued with quality control issues and is quite expensive at $40,000 to $60,000, be the top selling car, used car, for 2026. I've got some ideas, and let's see how you feel about this. First, gas prices have gone through the roof, so EVs should be up there. Now, I showed you a graphic where of the top 5 best-selling used cars for Q1, the Model X is number 1. But the Cybertruck is number 5. I'm going to do another video on that. Please subscribe so you can see that one. And the Lexus Hybrid is number 2. So it looks like EVs are now beginning to experience a resurgence because gas is over $4.40 nationally. And in places like Ohio and California and Nevada, it's $5. So that makes it appealing. I can understand. But it's definitely still pricey. And I'm looking at all of the used cars in the top 5, and only 2 of them are reasonably priced. So it can't be just price alone. And it could be that people are recognizing the value of the Model X now that Tesla has decided to no longer produce that thing. Now, I thought that was a mistake by Tesla, but those decisions aren't made by a bunch of suits sitting around in a boardroom or a bunch of tech bros, throwing down monster drinks and shooting rubber bands at each other. This is actually AI-informed decision making, and Tesla has decided to take that car, which is their family hauler. It's the only one that has a six seat configuration, and has taken that off the board altogether. All right, so I guess the buying public is now realizing that was in fact a good car, and are looking to snap them up as long as they're not overpriced. So we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. One, is this car reliable? Number 2, is it good value for money? 3, how's the tech in that car? And 4, is it safe? So if you continue watching, I'm going to go through each one of these and let you know the true facts, the full 100 on all of it. So is the Model X a reliable car? Well, according to IC Cars, it got an 8.5 on its reliability scale and was ranked number 1 among electric SUVs. And Consumer Reports gave it favorable ratings in every single metric except for build quality. And this is where I'll point out the Model X's 2 Achilles heel. Those fantastic Falcon wing doors, problem area number 1. They have more sensors in them than the entire car has everywhere else. And at first they gave non-stop problems because these sensors would fail or conflict with each other or get confused in various situations. But Tesla attacked this problem assiduously. And now these Falcon wings, Falcon doors, work flawlessly. But I have to say 24 and later. And I test drove a late 2023 model, and it still had problems with the Falcon wing door. And right here, this eyebrow wheel arch molding, the Falcon wing door, and this rear quarter panel disjointed. I'll show you a picture here. But now in 2024, here in this plaid, perfect. The eyebrow cover is perfect. The panels are perfectly aligned. I've got a point 1-2 gap on this side, and I'm coming to the other side to see if we've got evenness. And yeah, on this side I've got, wait for it, I've got a 0.1 even. So good side, good tolerances on either side, and they are almost identical. And the second problem that plagued Model X's, particularly the early ones, was the suspension. This vehicle weighs 3,000 kilos, 6,000 pounds, and it rides on this air suspension, and it has air springs on each corner. Now, in early models, these springs would go bad. They've upgraded them, but still, This is 6,000 pounds of vehicle traveling at a range of over 300 miles on a single charge, and people drive them. So out of warranty, it's going to be pricey to replace a worn air springs. Here I've included a quote from Tesla on just the labor on alone. So you can see it's quite pricey. And then the other parts that you always have to look for: rocker arms, A-arms, the suspension sensors. But aside from those things, Tesla has taken care of every other nettlesome little issue where it came to the hardware, the construction, the build, the material that is made out of. And here I'm showing you that the paint quality is, so I did this on Mercedes and BMW, and the paint on this car, the paint thickness, this is a depth gauge, is showing that the paint thickness is thicker than every BMW I tested. And as far as safety is concerned, the European Safety Board, NCAP, which has higher standards than the US, gave this vehicle its highest rating. Frontal crash, side crash, passenger protection. It got top marks in every single category. This is the dreaded rollover, and when it involves an SUV, it is oftentimes deadly. The NHTSA has devised a specific test to see what degree of injury occurs when an SUV is hit and rolled over. And only one has ever survived this test and got the highest score. And it was the Model X with its stamped alloy frame and its solid structural battery pack. This vehicle refused to roll over. The Model X has a distinction of, one, being the only vehicle in its class to gain all superlatives in this test. But it also broke the machine. Plaid configuration, it is super car fast. Now, it is true that the Model X has taken a depreciation hit over its 10-year lifespan, but it has experienced somewhat of a resurgence. Let's take a look at model year 2023. In that year, Tesla dropped the price for the Plaid to $89,990 and for the regular all-wheel drive, $79,900.
This is about the newly price-reduced Model X, which now qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit under the Biden administration's new Inflation Reduction Act. Now, first off, here I want to show you guys a good close-up. That red eye camera means this is hardware 4, so that's going to assist in a much better full self-driving experience. I can't tell you about that because I don't know anything about it, because I have yet to commit to full self-driving. But as a side note, full self-driving is now a full $4,000 less than what it was 3 days ago. So this car is now priced, this is the base model, this car is now priced at $79,000. And with the $7,500 tax credit and the $500 credit if you live here in New York, and the other credits that are in other states like Delaware, California, New Jersey, guys, you are looking at an electric SUV with super performance, the flex appeal of the gull-wing doors, at around $71,000.
So 3 years ago, you were buying in September, if you bought in September, you were buying the Model X Plaid for $89,000, $89,900, and the regular all-wheel drive version for $71,000. Now let's take a look at depreciation. So look, a 2023 Model X all-wheel drive currently is going for between $55,000 and $75,000 across all used car platforms. That's a 33% depreciation worst case scenario, 1.5% appreciation best case. With used Plaid prices hovering between $75,000 and $95,000, that's a depreciation over 3 years of less than 26%, and in best case scenario, an increase of 6%. That is an appreciation in the best case scenarios in both these cars. And I would recommend late 23s and later if you're going to be purchasing one. So I'm interested to hear what you think. Were you as shocked as I was that a Tesla, much less the discontinued Model X, is the fastest selling car in the used car in the United States? And do you think it deserves to be the fastest selling car? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are interested in buying it, please let me know why. All right. And any other comments you have, please put them down below. I will be quick to respond. All right, fam.